I'm Shelby. I am a graduate student at Lipscomb University, and I'm working to get my master's in clinical mental health counseling. It's really great to see you here today. What's your name?
My name's Claudia.
It's nice to meet you, Claudia. Eventually I want to find out more about what brings you here, but before I just want to let you know that anything you say in here is confidential except in the event that you express the desire to harm yourself or others. I would have to disclose that information, but anything else is strictly confidential between you and me, so I hope that helps make you a little bit more comfortable. Alright, so why don't we begin by you just telling me a little bit about what brings you here today?
Well, I'm Claudia, like I said, and I am a graduate student here too. Recently, probably what pushed me to come in was I have had a really stressful weekend, and I'm not exactly sure how to handle all the stress that came with it. So I am the oldest of 4 girls in my family, and with that, I think comes a lot of responsibilities that the older sibling kind of just has to fulfill, which is totally fine because I love spending time with my family, but this weekend was just not the weekend that I needed that to happen. So to give you an idea with school, I just had a lot going on in school this week. A lot is due, the first big items of the semester, and there's just a lot of uncertainty that kind of goes around those things, just trying to figure out, what to turn in, is it right, that kind of stuff. So I kind of needed to make sure that I had time set aside this weekend to get a lot of the work done so that I would not be stressed come class time, and that just really wasn't able to happen this weekend. So I went home on Friday, and when I got home on Friday, I told my parents immediately, I'm going to go to my room, I need to get some work done. I'm home strictly for this thing that I have planned with one of my sisters tomorrow. She bought these tickets. The only reason I really came home. But just kind of letting them know ahead of time, this is my plan and I need this time. But they instead kind of met me outside the house and was like, hey, okay, since you're home, I need you to go change and we're going to go bowling, which seemed like a fun thing, which totally would have been, but I just didn't. That's not what I needed to do that day. But yeah, so we went bowling, and then I got home. The next day, I was supposed to be able to sleep in, wake up, do homework until this event that we had that night. But instead, my parents woke me up and told me that I needed to go prom dress shopping with my little sister, which is totally fine. I don't mind, but just, again, not the day that I had planned and had set this time aside, and I needed to get some things done. But ended up doing that, and was told I'd be home in plenty of time to get some work done before this dance thing. And that didn't happen. I got home late and then was able to change clothes and then had to leave again. Went to this dance thing and didn't make it back till after midnight, which that was my only priority going into the weekend, was attending that thing. And then I'm also a pastor's kid, so Sunday came, and of course I have to go to church. So went to church, and it was great. It was good to see people, but of course I was very preoccupied thinking of all the things that I needed to be doing, because another goal for that weekend was to get my taxes done, having never done them before. And it was supposed to do that the day before, but also during that little bitty time that I was home, Dad decided to go play golf, and so he wasn't available to help me. So either way, we get out of church on Sunday, make it home, and I decided, okay, if we can get our taxes done, I'll go ahead and head back up to Tennessee, get homework done Sunday night, it'll be fine. And then 3:30, 4 o'clock hits, and it's too late really to head back, and haven't done taxes yet, haven't been able to get anything done. So finally sit down and do all that with Dad, and ended up having to add another day into my trip home, losing a lot of hours to do work. So made it back to Tennessee, drove straight to campus and worked until class started, and then sat through class. It was just a really stressful couple of days.
Yeah, it sounds like the past weekend has just been a roller coaster, and you've been pulled in a million different directions, literally, and feeling a little bit overwhelmed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely overwhelmed.
So you're a grad student who lives away from home.
Yes.
You're the oldest, and you feel like kind of that responsibility to go home and see your family and spend time with them, because you obviously value their relationship, but it's a lot on your plate right now.
Yeah, and I think it would be better if I could figure out how to balance that, maybe make it clear for them, but help them to understand, the schoolwork is just, it's very important, and y'all are important too, and there's certain times when schoolwork might have to trump hanging out with family, and but yeah, just trying to figure out that balance, because at least right now I don't feel like I've got it. So
like you have that balance.
yeah.
Got it. So you're wanting to come here to talk about how to find that balance, and we can definitely work on that in here and further explore that. Can you tell me about some ways in the past that you typically dealt with stress? What have you done to kind of ease your mind? It sounds like you've just got a lot going through your head right now. So in the past, when you felt like this, what have you typically done to?
So I've actually gone to counseling in the past, and I have handled some issues with some anxiety things, just trying to, when I get overwhelmed, figuring out ways to break the mold of maybe my thought process is going down and being like, oh no, I'm so stressed or whatever. But probably things I've done in the past. So people have the new coloring book craze of like adult coloring books and whatever. People have encouraged me to try to do that, but I feel like that's just another like to-do list check off than it is really relaxing. And I think probably the biggest thing that's helped is I've tried to really kind of figure out what's most important in that day and time, like trying to stay present in like what can I get done right now, and trying not to worry about the things that I still need to get done in the moment. Just because you can only handle. I know logically you can only handle so much, but sometimes my body does not agree that with that balance. But that's kind of what I've tried.
Okay, sounds like you have a lot of insight into what kind of works for you in those stressful situations, and just kind of a matter of putting that into action and practicing it so that you don't get those overwhelming thoughts that are too hard to kind of come down off of. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Have you thought about what would happen if you communicated the stress that you feel to your family, and kind of what that would be like if they knew how stressed out you felt?
I have not really probably communicated it like I should. I think I would definitely have to be really careful, because when you have 4 girls in a house, that's a lot of emotions, obviously, always flying through the air, no matter if it's something really simple or something really complicated. So I think definitely should find a way to clarify that, but making sure that I'm not hurting anyone's feelings. That's probably something I'm a little nervous about if I was to try and communicate that, because I don't want them to think that I don't care, because I do care. I just, you're paying $10,000, a semester. Obviously, your priorities shift a little bit when it comes to that kind of stuff, especially when I'm paying for it on my own and they're not really helping with that. So,
right. So there's that kind of conflict between wanting to communicate with them and just let them know, like, hey, I'm stressed and a little bit overwhelmed, and then there's that feeling of not wanting them to take it the wrong way, and you're very grateful for the ways that they help you, and so in a way you feel like you kind of owe it to them to be there for those family functions and communicate with them and put them as a top priority.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's the way it should be.
Yeah. Well, I think I commend you. It sounds like you really have a lot of insight on what's going on, and that you know you're stressed and that you can't keep going on like this. But I think it's something that a lot of people your age go through, that kind of transition time between what I should be doing, what I need to be doing, what I want to do. And so in here, would you be willing to kind of work through ways to cope with that? And we'll talk about ways to kind of manage that stress and balance family life and work life and home life and your work with school.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
I think that'd be something we can definitely work on, and I look forward to doing that with you. I think you've already got a great start on the path that you want to go on, and I look forward to kind of helping you through that process. But I think that's about all the time we have today, but looking forward to meeting with you in our next session.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.